and good evening to you. Welcome to high school wrestling action on Central Illinois Sports, live from Boschel Gymnasium in Pittsfield. For this wrestling triangular, Pittsfield, Hillsboro, and Carlinville for you this evening on Central Illinois Sports. Alongside Joe Butler, I'm Charlie Hall. John is manning our mat side camera today, and this is the Great Rivers Bank pre-match show. Should be a good evening for high school wrestling. These three teams, also the youngsters, are on the other mat, and a lot of young people in attendance tonight to show off for their home fans what they have been working on throughout the season. We'll talk more on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show after this.
Are you looking to streamline your banking? Great Rivers Bank has just what you need with our streamlined checking and savings accounts. Earn high interest rates or get cash back on debit card purchases with your qualifying account, plus ATM fee refunds. Certain qualifications required. Call or visit our website today at www.greatriversbank.bank to get started. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Logan Agri-Service, we consider it a badge of honor to be recognized as one of the larger independent suppliers of crop protection chemicals in the Midwest. We've worked hard for years to provide you with the access to the best herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides from top manufacturers because we know without you, our local farmers, we wouldn't be here. When you have questions, call our local experts to discuss what works best for your fields and your situation, or visit us online at loganag.com. Serving agriculture since 1962.
Now that the new year is upon us, it's time to focus on the important things, like Wi-Fi, strong connections, and high speed. This is the perfect time to tell you to call Cascom today. We specialize in all of those important needs. With our high-speed fiber optic service, we make your life easier. Whether that's online streaming, gaming, or just wanting good local TV channels, we have it all. So give us a call today at 1-800-252-1799.
Here at Little Jess, we value hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership. We have a respect for heritage and tradition and believe in the pursuit of building legacies, breaking records, and putting forth award-winning results. That's why supporting schools and local teams is one of our favorite and most exciting parts of our business. For over 7 decades, we strive daily to use those same values as a foundation to meet our community's automotive needs and support our future generations. Little Jess Motors, serving our community since 1969.
Best Systems Insulators offer insulation for homes and commercial buildings throughout Central Illinois and the surrounding areas. We take great care to ensure that the insulation products we use are the best fit for our clients and their project. We understand that different buildings have different needs and that each of our clients has a unique set of goals. Let us work with you to find the best solution for your next project. Call Best Systems Insulators at 217-285-6005. That's 285-6005. Or visit them online at GoBestSystems.com.
Kate Marable, real estate broker with Hometown Real Estate, would like to say good luck to all area teams and hopes everyone has a successful and healthy season. When you're in the market for a new home or would like to sell your home, be sure to call Kate Marable. Kate is a lifelong resident of the area and has experience in first-time home buyers, FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Call Kate Marable at 217-370-9809. That's 370-9809 for Kate Marable and Hometown Real Estate.
Welcome back to you alongside Joe Butler. I'm Charlie Hall, Central Illinois Sports. High school wrestling for you this evening on the lone home match of the season for Pittsfield. It's Pittsfield, Hillsboro, and Carlinville tonight, as Hillsboro and Carlinville have traveled a little bit of a distance to be here this evening in a match that was actually scheduled a couple of weeks ago. With the winter weather we had, it was unable to take place then, so kudos to all of the athletic directors and coaches for getting this rescheduled so these guys could get this in. Joe, the high school season wrapping up here fairly quickly as regionals start this Saturday.
Yeah, I think these guys are looking good. You know, you got Cook in there. He's going to be, battling to go to state. You know, you got some other younger kids and the Waylon White kid. I mean, first-year wrestler, man. Kid's tough. Kid goes out there and gets it, and he surprised a lot of people.
And, you talk about Pittsfield's overall numbers. They have more than doubled from a year ago to now. Talk about how important that is to just have competition in the wrestling ring.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have, slim kids. You got 8 or 9. I mean, there's nobody battling for a spot. You got 20 in the room. Everybody's battling for a spot. They're beating each other up every day, and they make each other better by doing that. You got to fight for a spot. That's just going to make you work harder in that room.
And I think if you take a look at Pittsfield's roster, it kind of gets bunched up a little bit in the middle weight classes. They have nobody at 215, nobody at heavyweight, so they're forfeiting those two weight classes, and I don't believe they have anybody at 106 at this point in time either. But other than that, they fill just about every weight class, which is also a big key, especially when you take a look from their program a year ago when they were forfeiting all but about 5 or 6 weight classes.
Yeah, it's definitely, it helps. You want to go out there and give your entire team, especially when you're competing against these, to go out there and win every match. You're giving up all those weights. It's hard to do that. It's hard to win a duel that way. But, those middle weights, you always have kids that are at those middle weights. And honestly, I can't remember the last time Pittsfield High School hasn't had a 215 or a heavyweight. So that's pretty rarity. Obviously, people like Jason White, Bear, John Wise, those, they're following that. But and then you got Colton Peace. We've had some big-time 215 heavyweights, and it definitely shows when there isn't one around here. So.
When you talk about the history of the Pittsfield wrestling program, even though overall it's still a fairly young program compared to some others, it's had some pretty good success over the years. And, the first one that'll come to mind for a lot of people, if you were around in the early 2000s, would be John Wise, who, of course, multiple-time state champion. But there's been guys that have been state placers, it seems like, throughout the history of the program.
Yeah, you go in that wrestling room, there's a board, and, from 1987 to the present, you got guys up there. There was a time when, when I was in school, when I was wrestling, that board was every year somebody was at the state tournament. So that was what the program thrived on. You didn't have anybody go to state. It was kind of a failure for that year, as a coaching staff. But even going back farther than that, you see these banners in this gym. My brother wrestled for those teams. With John Frieden and was coaching those, and that was the last time, really as a team, this program has had any success, which is, late 90s, early 2000s. So I got to witness that. I was a little kid, but, my brother was wrestling, and so it was pretty neat to witness that.
And, you take a look at this Hillsboro program, this Carlinville program, who both have been traditionally strong throughout the years. Carlinville, a little fewer numbers here tonight. Not sure if that's program-wide or just the fact that you're in the last week of the season and some guys might not have as many matches left as others, as there is a limit on that.
Yes.
Throughout the year. And so some people may not be wrestling this final week, or maybe they have another match coming up later this week. I'm not sure, but everybody will be taking place in those regionals on Saturday.
Yes. I know, when I was in school, Carlinville always had a tough team. Hillsboro was always loaded. As everybody knows, Matt Hughes came from there. So, they had a big program, back in the day, and I'm not sure, what the reasoning is. Maybe, and I know neither one of these schools here has a junior high program, so maybe that has something to do with it. They don't have that filler program, but sometimes that's just the way it goes with this sport.
Well, that was something I was going to talk to you about. I know you are heavily involved in the junior high program. It's still a fairly young program for the Pikeland School District. How much of a benefit is it to have those kids starting wrestling as early as 5th grade for the school program?
It's very relevant. You get these kids at 5th grade, maybe if they've never wrestled before, that's fine. They haven't started, bad habits, making mistakes. You build them up, when they become an 8th grader, that's when they can become good, and then they get into the high school. And I know that only helps Coach Peterson and Coach Ocker. They don't have to start with the basics. They can start building on those basics with these high school kids. It definitely helps. I think, at the junior high level, you start with the little stuff, and then you, as the season goes on, you work up. But at the high school level, that's where you get into everything. That's where you get into technical.
And you start taking a look at the people that are really successful when it comes to wrestling, and you look back, and there's a lot of those guys, and girls now, by the way,
yes,
that have started back when they were maybe 3 or 4 years old, and they have been doing this basically their entire lifetime.
Yeah, this is one of them sports that if you want to be at the top and you want to excel, you gotta. Essentially, you see a lot of these kids now wrestling year round. or going to these Perler camps or these iron sharpen iron, you know, stuff like that. If you want to be at that next level, that's what you got to do.
It is the Great Rivers Bank pre-game or pre-match show, as it might be, here this evening. We're still awaiting the coaches to talk to us about the matchups. We do know Pittsfield and Hillsboro will be wrestling first, then Carlinville and Hillsboro will wrestle, and then Pittsfield and Carlinville will finish out the night on the high school mat here at Voschel Gymnasium. And we did say this is the lone home match of the year for Pittsfield. They had two actually scheduled, both about 4 days apart in the original schedule, and both got canceled due to the winter weather. But how important is it for these guys to get an opportunity to play or to wrestle in front of a home crowd?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's, you know, when this place is full and there's a good match going on and it's roaring, I mean, it's some of the best feelings. I mean, I've got to do it here in front of everybody, you know, my high school career. And I mean, it's awesome. You always want to be in front of your home crowd. You know, you always want to go out there and show them what you've been doing in that room all year long. So, because, you know, honestly, wrestling is not close. I mean, anywhere you go in this sport, you're traveling because there's nothing around. I mean, the closest, you know, you got Camp Point, but I mean, even still, I mean, not everybody travels to go watch wrestling, so it's nice to have this at home.
Speaking of Camp Point, not everybody has a facility like they just built there for wrestling either.
Absolutely,
my goodness.
Not. That is, it is. I've actually been fortunate enough to see it, and it is awesome. It is top notch. I mean, they're going to do a lot of things with that. You know, I mean, they have a lot of opportunities. I know you can fit 3 full mats in there. Heck, they even got bleachers in there if they want to have a duel. So
definitely an impressive investment by their school district in their program, and kudos to those folks who are working hard to give their kids a great experience. We'll step aside here on the Great Rivers Bank pre-match show. We'll get set for wrestling action after this.
Here in Pittsfield, we're focused on maintaining a healthy, diverse economic base to increase opportunities for our residents. Economic factors greatly affect a community's overall potential, and we strive to continue our prosperous culture. The availability of both commercial and industrial employment centers and new lucrative entrepreneurship opportunities are major assets for growth and development here in Pittsfield. In addition to providing employment and income to people, Pittsfield also boasts several tax incentive districts to further facilitate economic growth. Examples of growth and success can be seen throughout Pittsfield. Pittsfield is located within Pike County and widely known for the abundance of white-tailed deer, and is also home to companies that have capitalized from the region's natural resources. Located over on Madison Street, Whitetail Properties is a major local and international employer that truly embodies the local and economic spirit of Pittsfield. State-of-the-art communications and telecommuting are available here. Be sure to catch their televised series throughout the week on the Sportsman Channel. Come grow and be a part of something great in Pittsfield, Illinois.
The thing for me that really separates DOT, senior leadership and the owners of the business really focus on employee engagement.
We have some of the best people managers.
The Tracy family, senior leaders throughout the business, really all of our leaders care about the employees that work here.
And that allows for a lot of families to come work at Dot Foods, and I think that's part of it, is being able to have all those different schedules and the flexibility to be able to move things around when life happens.
The heart is the hardest working muscle in your body. If something goes wrong with it, you need a medical team that works just as hard. You need Blessing Health's Open Heart Surgery Team, celebrating 20 years of delivering life-saving care to tri-state residents. Patients and families choose Blessing Health's Open Heart Surgery Team for its experience, quality, and heartwarming compassion. Get the most out of your hard-working heart.
Make your dream kitchen and bath a reality with help from Pike County Lumber. We'll create a design to fit your lifestyle and your needs. Quartz countertops, quality onyx that offers dozens of colors. From start to finish, trust the knowledge and experience at Pike County Lumber.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agents at B&P Insurance Agency, Barber Agency. See Pat Vandevelde, Caleb Vandevelde, or Mary Coltis. You'll find our location at 114 South Madison Street in Pittsfield. Griffin Signs and Time at 122 South 9th Street in Quincy is a full-service sign company that can complete any project, from fully wrapping your entire fleet of vehicles, digital signs, storefronts, to creating small banners and signs. The right and professional signage is the difference of getting the job, heading folks in the correct direction to find you, or creating a brand recognition for potential customers. Put the right signs in your customer's mind with Griffin Signs and Time. Call 217-228-7470.
Welcome back to Voschel Gymnasium. Mats are rolled out on the floor in preparation for tonight's matchup. Again, it's Pittsfield, Hillsboro, and Carlinville in action on the high school side of things, and we're just moments away from starting the pre-match festivities. It's senior night here for Pittsfield. Just one senior in the program, and outside of that, on the junior side, just I do believe 2 or 3 on that. So basically, Pittsfield's wrestling team is kind of like a JV team, Joe.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this team, but you know what? That's not always bad. They'll build up to when they become seniors. You know, they can be really tough.
You talked about Tucker Cook a little bit earlier. We kind of mentioned him, and he's kind of the leader for this program for Pittsfield and has been the most successful wrestler throughout the year, and definitely a young man that is looking to be a state qualifier, and then kind of seeing what happens here in his junior season.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's 5 wins away from 100 as a junior. I mean, that's pretty impressive. There's some guys that go all 4 years and don't break 100 wins, and he may do it his junior year. So that's going to be exciting to watch, and frankly, I hope he does it. I mean, that's big for a program.
Wrestling 195 this year. We've seen him wrestle up a couple times with Pittsfield not having a 215. It does give them a little bit of leeway to be able to do that. And I'm not so sure we might not see him wrestle up a little bit this evening, just to kind of depend on the matchups. And that's the thing is people who have not been to a wrestling match, they might say, well, why don't you know if he's going to have a 195 opponent or not? Well, there could be a lot of factors. That could be sick, hurt, injured, not make weight, just not, be at school that day. Yeah. So you don't know until the teams show up.
Absolutely not. I mean, there's times where, you're on the bus and he's on his weight. He shows up and he doesn't make weight. I mean, he's either got to bump up or he doesn't wrestle that night. So, it definitely takes a lot of discipline in this sport to do what we do.
I take a look at the philosophy for John Peterson, Derek Otker at the high school level. And, first of all, people that might have known wrestling back in the 90s, you can't cut weight like you really used to be able to, which is probably a good thing, by the way, as far as the safety and health of your athletes.
Very good thing.
But, they're kind of under the impression of, what you weigh to start the season, while you can lose some from that based on that hydration testing that they do, a lot of it is just, what are you actually comfortable at as a comfortable weight for you, and then go wrestle at that weight. Yeah,
I mean, that's hard. You do that hydration test, and it kind of tells you what you can, how much you can lose, and how much percentage. And honestly, you start cutting too much, you're starting to make yourself ineffective. And there's kids that keep wanting to cut weight. Well, then they go out there, they don't have anything on that mat to use. So, get to that comfortable weight as the season goes on. Your metabolism starts kicking in, and that weight just kind of falls off you, and you start maintaining. That's where you want to be. When you start maintaining a couple pounds under your weight class, I think that's a good fit.
People might wonder, let's say you have 2 wrestlers. I think Pittsfield has a couple in the 150, 165 weight classes. How do you determine who wrestles on days you actually have a meet?
Well, and that starts in the wrestling room. I mean, you got 2 guys at one weight, and you have challenge matches. You go up against each other, and whoever wins takes that spot. And I mean, and that's the only fair way to do it. I mean, it's just like when you go out here, it's you versus somebody else. So in that room, I know your teammates and your friends, but when it comes down to it, if you want that spot, you're going to go get it.
Well, I think that's the thing is when you get out on the mat, not a lot of places to hide. It's not like. And it's not like in football where if you're a wide receiver and they split you way out to the one side and you're never really getting the ball thrown to you anyway because your team's running the, running offense predominantly. You can kind of hide out there maybe if you're not the most talented player, but nowhere to hide in that circle.
Oh, no. As soon as you start running out of that circle here, that official will bring you back in. They'll reel you right back in and tell you where you need to be. And, that's the thing. You got to go out there. It's one-on-one. You're battling. Yeah, you're right. There is nowhere to hide. So you either got to step up or you don't.
The captains and coaches meeting with our official here this evening as they get ready for action here at Boschel Gymnasium. And so we told you regional action starts on Saturday. Pittsfield, I know, is headed to the Auburn Regional, and it wouldn't surprise me too awfully bad, although I haven't looked at the matchups, if you might not see one or both of these programs headed that direction as well, as it really covers a pretty good amount of area geographically.
Yeah, I think, it seems like Pittsfield goes south all the time. But I think they're in that Vandalia sectional too. So, yeah, these two teams, I actually looked at it earlier this week, and I couldn't remember if these two teams were in it, but if I had to guess, I would say they are.
Would definitely be sectional opponents, if not regional opponents, for sure. And talk about how that works for the regional. How many guys from each class will advance out? What's the progression there?
I think it's changed, but I want to say that they take the top 3 from regionals, the top 4 from sectionals. The top 4 sectionals move on to state. Back in the day, you had to finish top three in the sectionals and move on to state. So that's changed a little bit. So, yeah, you got to finish that top 3 in regionals and move on.
We have been handed our sheets with the information on who will be wrestling whom this evening. And we believe Pittsfield and Hillsboro will go first, but it could be Hillsboro and Carlinville. You never know. We'll kind of play that by ear. Pretty easy to tell the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we'll have the most matchups in the Pittsfield and Hillsboro duel. And Pittsfield and Carlinville also have a couple of good matchups there as well. Another guy you mentioned for Pittsfield is Waylon White. Pittsfield and Pleasant Hill, a co-op at the high school level. And not that we want to, we're not trying to forget Pleasant Hill when we say that, because definitely a very, very important part of this program. And Waylon White is a first-year wrestler. Talk about how hard it is to do what he's been doing. I mean, he came out really knowing nothing about wrestling, and all of a sudden it's had pretty good success.
It's the hardest thing. You come in, you don't know anything. And then, let's see, he's at that 165 weight class, and that's tough. I mean, he's out there wrestling, it's essentially grown men, seniors, at that weight, and it's not easy to do. And I know he went to Princeton, and Princeton by far is probably one of the toughest tournaments in this state, and goes up there and places. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That's something that some of us in this program have never done. So for him to come out this first year and go out there and place and then have a success as he has, I mean, it's great.
You talk about that Princeton tournament, and what you kind of see out of there from the 1A side of things in wrestling is you're going to see guys that are placing in the state tournament, they're usually at that Princeton tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I say it's the toughest. And that's where you want to go. You want to wrestle the best competition you can to make yourself better.
The high school girls regionals were held last week. Pittsfield does have a female wrestler, and the freshman and Olivia Hull who participated in that did not advance out of the regional, but able to participate here this evening in the matchups, and looking forward to seeing her in action as well. What do you think about that, Joe? The girls wrestling separated really for the first time in the last year or so for their own state finals.
I think it's great. I really do. It gives those girls an opportunity to wrestle their own, wrestle another girl, because you come into this sport, that's all it is boys, boys, boys. And I think it's a great thing. I'm glad they split it up. That way it gives them an opportunity. And there are some girls that choose to wrestle against the boys in the state tournament, and there are some that have success. But you know what? This sport is building with females wrestling, and I think it's great. I got 2 on my junior high team right now, and hopefully we keep building on it.
I have seen some of the best wrestlers, most impressive wrestlers I've seen this year have been some of the female wrestlers, and hey, when they're mixed in there and the tournaments and they're taking down guys their own age and size, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, it's impressive.
I believe they're going to have some senior night recognition first of all for Pittsfield's lone senior and Brad Cruzan, who actually is injured and won't be wrestling this evening due to A little bit of a rib problem, I believe he's been experiencing. Brad, also a first-year wrestler, has come out in his senior season. And if you look at him, a lot to learn, obviously, when you come in as a senior, but you can tell he's a guy that has been working on just his overall physical makeup for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good for your, dealing with, getting in shape or whatever. It's definitely good for that.
So they'll recognize Brad Cruzan here, and he'll get recognized by a good crowd on hand here at Boschel Gymnasium. First-year wrestler for this Saki program, and he'll meet with his parents at Matt's side here. Get that recognition, and as we told you, I think Pittsfield's program last year might have had 6 or 7 individuals by the time the season was over with, and has continued to grow. And guys like Brad can look back and say, hey, I kind of helped jumpstart this thing to being a full program again. That's really good to see.
Absolutely. The more numbers you can get, the better. Whether you're a first-year kid or you've been wrestling your entire life. I mean, you want to see this program succeed.
Brad will get greeted by his coaches, and I've told Derek and Johnny for a long time they both still have faces for radio, but they're featured on camera here tonight, so we apologize for that view. And it's also Saki Reading Recognition Night, and the Saki Reading Club can choose to come to a boys basketball game, girls basketball game, or a wrestling match. And so these youngsters have chosen to use their honor here tonight at the wrestling match, and congratulations to them for meeting their wrestling goals as well.
Yep.
And I like that program.
Oh, absolutely.
Gets the young kids out and seeing the high school kids participate, and these will be some of the young people that you'll see participating on these mats not too long, and some do for the youth program.
Yes.
A youth program is a large asset for wrestling as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody who wants to start at a young age, I mean, that's what it's there for, I mean, it's been going on for a long time around here, and we were hoping that that's what builds into this high school program, along with the junior high.
We are just about ready here. Just going to hang tight and hear from our PA announcer, Clint Weir, to see if we'll have the national anthem. And I believe we'll have that here in the gymnasium. We'll have it for you here on Central Illinois Sports from the United States Army Band and Choir. And we'll have action for you next.
GSI grain bins are built using the highest strength steel available. This allows you to store more grain to maximize your profitability and efficiency. Buy one now and receive our winter discount program. Mixer Lumber Company, your GSI grain bin dealer.
All right, just about ready for wrestling action. All the teams are surrounding the main mat here, and they're going to introduce the individuals at each weight class for Pittsfield, Hillsboro, and Carlinville. And you've joined us on Central Illinois Sports for high school wrestling. And as we told you, it'll be Pittsfield and Hillsboro and Carlinville, and then Pittsfield and Carlinville to round out tonight's festivities. One of the things, and I have a question.
Go ahead.
I think somebody should ask the IHSA, why does a forfeit count towards your match count?
You know, I've never been asked that question, but it does. I mean, I guess that's part of the whole, 14 weight classes, You got to be able to fill them all to score points.
It'll start at 165, Waylon White of Pittsfield, Weston Fenton of Hillsboro, and from Carlinville at 165, we see Ryder Powers. 175, Bodie Marable from Pittsfield, Owen Lentz of Hillsboro. And Carlinville does not have a 175-pounder this year, or here tonight at least. At 190, Tucker Cook.
Yep.
Hillsboro's Ian Anderson. And then we won't see a 190 from Carlinville here tonight. 215 looks to be a
double forfeit.
Forfeit across the board, actually.
Double forfeit.
At
Pittsfield and Hillsboro, and also
285, Mason Curry of Hillsboro, and also Blake Pruitt of Carlinville will be participating this evening.
We'll take the forfeit, and from Carlinville,
285, of course, the heavyweights. Then we'll restart back down to the lower weight classes. 106, it looks like. Pittsfield and Hillsboro both with a double forfeit, and we have,
double forfeit for Pittsfield and Hillsboro.
I believe that it'd be
And from Carlinville, Pittsfield will forfeit.
Nicole Stanley of
And from
Carlinville.
Carlinville, Nicole Stanley.
So we won't actually get to see Nicole in action this evening, but she will take the forfeit for her team, which will get her team those points. 113, Ruben Leonard of Pittsfield, Landon Bandy of Hillsboro, and it looks like Carlinville will have a forfeit in the 113 weight class. Also, that is 113. 120, Joel Noble of Pittsfield, Briar Poole of Hillsboro, and then it'll be a forfeit from Carlinville at the 120-pound weight class.
Carlinville will forfeit the 120 against Joel.
126, Pittsfield will have a forfeit in that weight class.
126, Pittsfield will forfeit.
Guilford Fontaine will be the representative from Hillsboro, and Daniel Eicher will be in the 126 weight class for Carlinville. So we'll have a matchup there when they meet in the middle duel here tonight. 132, Jacob Hull of Pittsfield. Hillsboro will have a forfeit, and from Carlinville, it looks like it'll be Ronald LaPlante at 132. 138, Pittsfield has Hunter Harrison. Hillsboro has Gavin Valentine. And Ridge Regan will be the representative for Carlinville in the 138 weight class. At 144, Brad Cruzan will be the representative in the Hillsboro duel. Although, as we told you, Brad's injured, so he'll take that forfeit. Won't actually be wrestling this evening.
Looks like they're throwing Nick Merriman in there against Carlinville, freshman.
So Merriman will be in there along with Austin Homer of Carlinville. So good to see that Cruzan will be able to go out and get his hand raised still here on senior night for the Saki program. 150, Fisher McEwen of Pittsfield. Hillsboro will have a forfeit, and as will Carlinville, so we won't actually see Fisher in action here tonight. He's a good young wrestler for the Saki program as well. At 157, it's Jake Odker of Pittsfield. Hillsboro will be forfeiting, as will Carlinville there, and that will be all of the weight classes here this evening. We'll also see a couple of exhibition matches, it looks like, in the Hillsboro and Carlinville matchup. We'll talk about when they are going head-to-head. But our first matchup here will be Waylon White and Weston Fenton in the 165 weight class. And we told you White is a first-year wrestler, a junior from Pleasant Hill, and that Pittsfield Pleasant Hill co-op. and has had some good success, and really just his overall strength is probably his biggest asset.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes you got to be strong to do this sport when you don't know much of what you're doing about it. So, you know, that'll build once he starts really learning actually how to use his strength in this sport. He's going to be crazy to watch.
We will have action for you on the red mat tonight. You can't see it from your vantage point at home, but there is another mat on the court for the youth wrestlers. In the black and red singlet, it's Waylon White. In the black and orange singlet, it's Weston Fenton. We're underway here in period number 1. Both young men just trying to get some hand position here early on.
Yeah, when you get here, you're trying to set up that angle like he's trying to, yep, there he goes, turn the corner.
So White will pick up the 2 points on the takedown. And now they'll work to get that man turned over here. White again in the black and red singlet against Fenton of Hillsboro here in period number 1.
Suicide cradle. Oh, there he goes. He rolls through. There he goes.
And looks like White will get the pin at the 119 mark of period number 1. And beats Pittsfield. The 6 points for the team points there. Next up at 175, Bodie Marable and Olin Lentz of Pittsfield and Hillsboro. White did not waste much time going to work there.
Absolutely not, but going back to that strength, he used that strength on that suicide cradle. I mean, you expose your back, that's what could happen if that kid, you know, sits down on it. I mean, Waylon could have been pinned in that situation, but pure strength and will not to want to get pinned.
All right, here we go. We've got Bodine Marable and Olin Lentz here for Pittsfield and Carlinville. This is 175. Bodie Marable, another just really complete athlete for this program. And he's just a sophomore.
He's smooth.
It's the early 2 points. He goes to work against the opponent in Lentz. We don't have total rosters for both teams, so not sure how old Lentz is.
Working that pin, working that fall, punch that arm through.
So what is if you're Lentz at this point, what is he trying to do? I mean, other than not get pinned, obviously, Joe.
He's got to get the Marable's leg out from underneath him in there. I mean, he does. I mean, you don't want to be in that position. You don't want to hang your head down like he's doing right now. That'll get you put on your back. But he needs to sit to his hip, and he needs to get that leg free and go down to working down moves. He's got it free there, but
Marable will let him up, and the 1 point escape for Lentz. What's the strategy there? Sometimes it's better to be on your feet, be able to get the points on the takedown again.
He's definitely smooth on his feet, so he probably wants to get that takedown. Kid wasn't doing much on bottom. Sometimes those kids are harder to put on their back than ones that do a lot, because, you know, you sit there, you kind of stall out, ball your hands up. I mean, there's not much you can do. Why don't we just let him on his feet, reset, and go back to it.
10 seconds left in period number 1. Marable with the 5-1 lead for Pittsfield. This is 175. Marable and Lentz of Pittsfield and Carlinville. It looks like that 5-1 score will carry us into period number 2. Both wrestlers will have an opportunity as Lentz defers, and Marable now will choose if he wants to be up or down. He'll choose to start down here. Talk about the strategy there.
You know, it seems like everybody asks this question, but this is where you can score, just like that. You go on top, you got to turn the guy to score. You go on bottom, there's all kinds of ways you can score. So you got to give your best chance. You give yourself a best chance to score.
And still fighting for position. No points awarded here.
That duck under there. There he goes. There he goes.
Marable will get the 2 points. take the 8-1 advantage.
Going right back to that leg ride. He's a good leg rider.
He's a young man that's put in a lot of work in the off season. Still an overall fairly young wrestler as far as overall experience goes.
He's still learning, but you know.
Gets the pin. Gets the pin for his squad. So back-to-back pins for Pittsfield. And that'll bring up Tucker Cook and Ian Anderson at 190. Cook has found himself in the top 10 at times this season in the 190 weight class, in Class 1A, 3 classes of wrestling at the high school level. And Cook's a guy that can make things happen in a hurry as well.
Oh, absolutely. He's strong. You know, big, strong kid. He's calm when he wrestles.
It's Cook in the black and red singlet, Anderson for Hillsboro in the orange and black. Cook on the left side of your screen now if you're watching along at home. Certainly glad you've joined us here on Central Illinois Sports. Pittsfield and Hillsboro matching up first of all. It's been 2 pins for Pittsfield with White at 165 and Marable at 175 here in the 190 weight class now.
Can't shoot through that arm. He's got to clear. There he goes. A little fireman's carry there. Reach.
Still no advantage for either wrestler at this point. Now Cook will get the points. Take the 2-0 lead. And now he's working on a pin.
Settle his hips. Lift the head.
Anderson really working to try to avoid that here. That's not a good feeling when you get to that point.
Oh, absolutely not.
But at times you'll see guys survive this in the first round and he won't here, but as Cook gets the pin, the 3rd in a row for Pittsfield. And sometimes you'll see guys survive that and they can still win the matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, there's guys, you know, you go in that room, you learn certain ways to get off your back, just like anything else. And, you know, at that point, it's anybody's match. I mean, just because you're on your back doesn't mean the match is over. I mean, you could always come back, seen it 100 times, and that's what's good about this sport.
So we'll see a double forfeit at 215, and then this is a forfeit at 285 for Mason Curry. So Curry will get the 6 points for his team on the forfeit, double forfeit 106. And so our next action here we will have at 113, Reuben Leonard of Pittsfield and Landon Bandy of Hillsboro. Leonard is a freshman, I believe, for Pittsfield, if I remember correctly.
Nope,
sophomore. All right, Reuben's a sophomore. Just to go to work early on in period 1. Bandy will get the 2 points, and now working on that pin set in. And we'll get that one quickly here. Impressive stuff from Landon Bandy of Hillsboro as he defeats Leonard of Pittsfield. That will bring to the mat at 120 Joel Noble and Briar Cool of Pittsfield and Hillsboro, respectively. Noble, a second-year wrestler here as a sophomore, another guy that spent a lot of time in the offseason working on just trying to play some catch-up as he just started the sport a year ago and wanted to get himself to a higher level. Has also moved up from 106 last year as a freshman to 120 here as a sophomore, and that's been a learning experience, and it can be when you go up a couple of weight classes.
Oh, absolutely. You know, so used to wrestling with that lower part of the lineup, and then you start gaining some weight. Now you're wrestling some of these kids that are a little tougher, a little stronger. You know, the build on some of these kids, it's like, I don't even know how he weighs 120 pounds, but he does, you know. And so that's the thing about this sport. You can never be for sure what somebody weighs, because they could be 6 foot tall and weigh 90 pounds, or they could be 6 foot tall and weigh 200 pounds. It's crazy.
Noble awarded the 2 points here as he is in control of his opponent in Cool.
Definitely working that pick there.
So he's got that right arm secured. Trying to work on turning the opponent over here. Less than a minute in period number 1. We say that like that's not a lot of time. When you're out there on the mat, it could be a really long time.
That's probably the worst 6 minutes of your life sometimes. Doesn't seem that long, but when you're out there, it's grueling. It's nonstop.
And then if you're tied at the end,
put
another minute on the thing.
We'll go for some more.
Noble, the 2-0 lead for Pittsfield. 21 seconds in the period. Cool working hard on bottom here, trying to avoid the pin. Short time with 7 seconds to play, and it looks like he will.
Yeah, he needs to walk around his head. There he goes. A few seconds too short, but.
So 2-0 Noble. Let's see. Cool will have the option here. He will say that he would like to start up.
Yeah. There's only certain times where, some coaches will pick that. Maybe they're tough on top. Maybe they're one of those kids that can ride and turn somebody. So that's probably the advantage of that. It looks like this kid's pretty good at this cradle. So he's trying to work that cradle, but always got to go down. Got to try to score those points.
You talk about, though, as the up man there. The only time you're going to get points is if you get that near fall, right?
Correct, yeah.
Now Noble gets the reversal and gets the 2 points and leads 4-0 now.
Yeah, and then Noble's going to have his choice in the third period, so.
Noble of Pittsfield, this is 120. Cool of Hillsboro. Cool trying to get to his feet here.
Return here.
Break that grasp and get the 1 point for the escape. Both wrestlers on their feet here. And nearly out of bounds. They'll work back toward the middle from the direction of the official.
Oh, trying to throw that head pull.
So Noble gets another 2 points there. Leads 6-1. Period number 2, 35 seconds left. Noble looking to his coaches for some instruction there.
Yeah, he's got to get him broke down. Got to get that hip to the mat. There, he's throwing that leg in there.
Cool again, doing a good job not to let Noble really have any kind of an event. It's going to start to turn him a bit, but time's going to run out, and we're going to head to the third. And as you said, Noble will have the option here. Assume he would like to start down, and he will. Although a little bit of a risk because, as you talked about, Cool was pretty good to start the
Yeah, that's
second period here.
Honestly, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, most of the time when you got a kid that's good on top, that's where you want to put him.
Close to being out of bounds here, and they will be. They'll both recenter. No points awarded as Noble was the down man to start the period.
Oh, roll through. He's going to turn down. He's got to get to his base. There he goes.
Most guys have a pretty good idea of what the score is period to period, or have a lot of time to really think about that in between.
Oh yeah, I mean you always know what you've done. You can take a peek up there. The big thing is as long as he stays off his back, he'll win this match. But doesn't. I mean, he's up 5 points right now. I mean, as long as he doesn't get pinned. I mean, he'll be all right, but still need to work for those points. There he goes.
The 1 point for the escape. 50 seconds to go here in the third. And yeah, as you said, as long as Noble avoids a pin here, it looks like he's going to come away with the win.
Get those extra points there, you're going to gain another team point here. Anything above 8 points will get you an extra team point. There he goes, he got it. Will get you 14 points instead of 3.
Which can be big when things are close at the end.
Oh yes. You never know how these duels are going to shake out, so try to score as much as you can.
You see quite a few forfeits, especially toward the end of this. So Pittsfield with quite the advantage at this point in time as far as winning the duel goes.
Yeah.
And Noble's going to hang on, and he'll get the 9-1 victory here at the 120 weight class. So Noble 9-1 gets his hand raised, and that'll bring us a forfeit from Pittsfield and Guilford Fontaine for Hillsboro will take the forfeit at 126. And then at 132, see Jacob Hull of Pittsfield take the forfeit. And our next actual matchup will be the 138 weight class. Hunter Harrison of Pittsfield and Gavin Valentine of Hillsboro.
He's another Pleasant Hill kid, isn't he?
Harrison is, yep. He 2 Pleasant Hill participants, he and White in the co-op. And trying to get everybody set correctly here. And we're underway. Officials are very important part of the sport as well. As you talked about, maybe in our region, 10 guys possibly officiating. It's a shortage. They work a lot, especially during tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not something that just anybody can kind of come in and do. You have to have some real knowledge of the sport.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to kind of be one of those, you know, somebody that's grown up with it or watched it, you know. It's not something you can just pick up, you know, football officials. You know, I'm one of them, but it's everybody watches footballs on Sundays and Saturdays. You know, you can kind of figure this out, but this isn't on every day of the week to watch and learn, so you kind of got to have a lot of knowledge on it.
Valentine up 2-0 for Hillsboro. 1:05 to play in the first. He'll also get 2 points here for some back points, I believe. Make it 4-0.
Yes.
Harrison trying to get out of there, and he will. He'll get the 1 point.
In the corner.
Now, you used to being a little more vocal when you're mat side as a coach, I know. It's another 2 for Valentine here. But how much can you do for your wrestler as a coach there on the mat?
You know, it's hard because you get out there, you got them, they got the headgear on, and it sounds like Charlie Brown, you know, womp, womp, womp. You know, as a wrestler, you can't hardly hear anything. You just got to kind of hope that they catch eye contact with you. You can give them a kind of what to do, and hopefully they do it. But, you know, as I see Coach Peterson, you know, sitting way away, I'm going to highly doubt he hears anything he says. But, you know, as a coach, you're trying to do as much as you can for your wrestler.
I think they're going to get together. I believe it should be 8-2 for Valentine. I believe we saw the official signal 2 and then 2 again right there at the end. 2 escape points, 2 single escape points for Harrison, so you would have had 3 takedowns plus the back points. Should be 8 total here, and it will be.
Yes.
As we head to period number 2, and the choice will be for Harrison here from Pittsfield, and he will choose to start down. So what are we seeing here? The referee instructing the young man from Hillsboro about not allowing the wrestler to be set, or
he's got to make sure that the bottom guy's set before he'll allow the top guy to cover. Because if he's not set, then the match can't go on.
Escape. Another point for Harrison to make it 8-3. Harrison in the red and black singlet.
Walk around that head, get your points. Get your 2.
Trying to get free of that grasp from Valentine is Harrison. Still no points for either wrestler here in this position, as nobody has the advantage. Now Valentine will get the 2 points. Take the 10-3 lead. Gavin Valentine. This is 1:38 with 1:07 here in period 2. Valentine of Hillsboro and Harrison of Pittsfield. Harrison now trying to escape again. He will get that other point. He's down 10-4 though, so he's got his work cut out for him here.
Yeah, right now his job is to get this score, keep the score under 8 points. Just give up that 3 team points unless he can.
It's back up to 8 now with another 2 for Valentine. Trying to
reach up. There he goes.
Time expires and go to the 3rd. Valentine 12-4 for Harrison, and choose to start neutral here. So you talk about, not only as you talk about now, Harrison will there get those 2 points. There's both individual strategy and team strategy here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the individual, you want to win that match, but as a team, the less points you can give up in that match, for your team, you lose just a regular match under 8 points, you give up 3 T points. After that, 8 points is 14 points. And then, you lose by 15, that's 5 team points, and you get pinned, that's 16 points. So sometimes your job is to stay off your back and not give up that 6 points in that duel.
Harrison's down 12-6, but seeing if he can't maybe get a late pin here. And now we'll get a whistle and
looks like a stalemate here. Neither wrestler are advancing, so they'll stop it and kind of reset them.
Harrison will be wrestling on top here. A minute left in the 3rd. This Israel Chance would have to be at a pin here to win this one individually, but you said just a 6-point spread right now.
Yeah, he'll give up that 3 team points, but
and you'll see sometimes the difference of a point or 2 will determine who could win that duel.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know there's times here where 1 or 2 points come down whether we beat Q&D or not, so that's a huge deal. You got to try to get everything you can. Locked hands.
Penalized for that.
Yep, that'd be 1 point.
So once you have the locked hands, so Valentine at that point would have had a chance kind of at a free move. Is that kind of the terminology we use there?
Everybody will be screaming free move. You got to try to do what you can because, if he does happen to get you on your back, they're going to stop the match. So you can do whatever you need to do to try to score some more points.
13 seconds, 7-point difference here. Harrison just trying not to give up another point. Looks like.
Ooh, he had him. Ooh.
Very close there.
He gave it up.
He'll give up the 1 point right at the end, so that'll be the 14-6 decision for Valentine for Hillsboro. And that'll be the final matchup here for Pittsfield and Hillsboro as far as a contested bout. As we'll have Brad Cruzan to come out and take a forfeit here at 1:44. Lone senior for the Pittsfield program. He'll come out and get his hand raised in front of the home crowd. Then we'll have at 1:50 Fisher McEwen take the forfeit for Pittsfield. McEwen, just a youngster for this squad as well.
Yeah, he's a
freshman. And then Jake Otker at 1:57, who's just a sophomore. And you wouldn't know that Derek Otker would be his dad by judging by their hair anyway.
This is true, completely opposite.
So let's see, at 165, White won by pin for Pittsfield. Marable at 175 by pin. Cook by pin for Pittsfield. To start, a double forfeit at 215. Curry took the forfeit at 285. A double forfeit at 106. It was Bandy with the pin over Leonard at 113. Noble a 9-1 decision over Cool at 120. Fontaine took the forfeit at 126 for Hillsboro. Hull took the forfeit at 132 for Pittsfield. 14-6 Valentine over Harrison at 138, and then forfeits for Pittsfield at 44-50 and 57 for Cruzan, McEwen, and Ocker. Looks like we're going to see maybe an exhibition match here as well.
It wasn't written on here, but you know what? Sometimes that happens.
Colin Throne is the wrestler for Pittsfield, and unfortunately we don't have the information on the young man from Hillsboro. That was not given to us before this started.
No.
Exhibition matches, if you have multiple guys at the same weight class, maybe somebody misses weight by a little bit, but you still want to get some experience in those, kind of what you're looking for these setups.
Yeah. Especially, you know, if you're doubled up, like, you know, Pittsfield's double up in a few of these weights, and they're kind of hoping that these other teams will be too. You know, even though those kids can't be in the varsity lineup, you know, they still might be able to get a match or two during the night and still get some experience.
Throne is the Pittsfield wrestler again. We apologize we don't have the name for the young man from Hillsboro. This is an exhibition match. Throne wrestling at 165. So he and White in the same weight class. You talk about an opportunity for a freshman to get to be in the room every day with a big, strong kid like White.
Oh, yeah.
It'll make you better.
Absolutely, it'll make you better. You know, he'll be able to learn a lot just wrestling with him and trying to go in there and beat him every day, you know. And then you can beat him in the room or, you know, compete with him. It makes all these other matches easier.
2 points for the Hillsboro wrestler here. As it appears this could be our... Oh, we could see one more, it appears, maybe another exhibition after this.
Yeah.
Looks like Reidenbark for Pittsfield might be up on his feet getting ready.
Another freshman.
1 point for Throne on the escape, and then we'll see.
Another takedown.
The Hillsboro wrestler get the 2 to take the 4-1 lead. Throne, I believe, overall an underexperienced wrestler.
Yeah. I believe, yeah, he's a first year. But you know what? That's good. You know, you get kids interested and curious about this sport, and they end up being good and liking it.
It doesn't mean you're always going to end up being a state champion.
Oh, no. That takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Looks like he might get him. A little bit more time. I think he might have got him there.
It's 4-1. The Hillsboro wrestler has the advantage. He'll defer here to the second period, and it'll be the choice for Throne, and he'll start down as he's behind here. Trying to gain an escape point. Or maybe a reversal.
Yeah.
Over on the youth mat, those guys aren't very big. I don't know what weight class that is, Joe, but I haven't been there for a while.
It's got to be back 40 pounds over there. Those kids get after it, though. That's good for them to be in here. Oh, he's got to carry it over. Oh. Work that arm through, work his belly to the mat there.
There
you go, good.
3 for the Hillsboro wrestler, 2 for Throne, who now currently has the top
Locked
position.
Hands again. At this point, just hang on.
So Hillsboro's wrestler will get the 1 point. How easy is it to lock those hands?
Oh, I mean, when you're new, it's easy because that's what you want to do. You want to grab around their waist and you want to hold them down. You know, I teach my kids, first thing you want to grab is a wrist. If you grab their wrist, you can't lock your own hands. As long as you got one of their wrists, they're not going to call it.
And the reasoning for that being an illegal move is just a general safety rule?
Well, I think it gives the top guy an advantage. You know, you just grab them around the waist, you know, you can do whatever you want to with them. And they're not able to just defend grabbing around the waist. So, turn down.
More points for the Hillsboro wrestler here. Exhibition about at the 165 weight class, and now
he's really fighting off his back here.
Close to it.
If he lifts his head. Got to get both those shoulders on the mat at once.
Referee down there taking a gander at it, and it'll be.
Sometimes your own arm gets in your way and you can't pin somebody because your arm's laying there.
13-3. The lead for the Hillsboro wrestler here. And it is period 3. And Throne will be the man in the down position here to start for Pittsfield.
Hopefully he can get him turned over and see him on his back.
Got thrown on his back. Spin, and
there it is.
Spin. Yep. Was close several times and finally does accomplish that task.
It does look like Riddenbark's going to get ready to wrestle.
He's about, what, 190? How much he's been wrestling at? 175?
175, yeah.
He actually has bumped up a couple times, and they bumped Cook up to be that other guy.
Yeah.
So he, and if you remember, Bodie Marable earlier, would be about the same weight class. And again, talk about an opportunity that makes yourself better. Marable, a little more experienced than Runbark, but he has beaten Marable in the room this year.
Yeah, he has. He beat him in a wrestle-off, and that's why you do it every day, and that's why you don't take your spot in that lineup for advantage.
Not so sure that wasn't when they went to Princeton, in fact.
You might be right.
Princeton or the term right before that. I don't know. It was right around that holiday break time.
Yeah. He was pretty solid for me last year as a junior high wrestler.
He's gotten a lot of experience at JV. Pittsfield does a pretty nice job of trying to get these guys some junior varsity matches. And what you find out very quickly there is just because guys are wrestling at JV, especially when you're looking at some bigger programs like a Civic Memorial or some of those folks, Quincy, JV doesn't mean inexperienced.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, you get a ton of kids in that room, anything can happen, and you gotta want to earn that spot. And yeah, you're right. Just because you're JV doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. I mean, sometimes that's what some kids need. They need to wrestle that JV competition to get better.
Well, there are times you're just stuck behind. You get stuck behind a state qualifier type of guy.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to go the whole year at that with never wrestling, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, and Coach Peterson does a great job at getting these kids some matches. I mean, not everybody has a lot of kids on their team to get those exhibition matches, but he does a good job trying to find some JV tournaments and stuff like that. So,
Reidenbach has the 2 points for Pittsfield. Again, don't know the name of the young man from Hillsboro here in this exhibition at around the 175 weight class. You talk about different sizes, shapes and sizes of weights, and Caden Reidenbach is a perfect example of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if you looked at him, you'd probably guess lower than his overall weight.
I would guess about 160, But yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't tell what a kid weighs by the way he looks,
1 point for the Hillsboro wrestler there for.
I want to say he wrestled 167 for me as a junior high wrestler last year.
So we'll head to period number 2 to the weight classes. Translate fairly evenly from junior high to high school. Obviously lower weight classes than the junior high.
Yeah, I mean the junior high's got 19 weight classes to fill, anywhere from 65 all the way to 285. Or 275, I'm sorry. High school is 285, junior high is 275. Some of the weight classes are the same, some of them get split up differently, but I feel like there should be a little, maybe 1 or 2 more weight classes for the junior high, just kind of keep kids from getting their weight spread out up in the upper weights. But
well, this year actually a weight class eliminated at the high school level, correct?
Man, it's changed so much since, I mean, we used to have a 103-pound weight class, and then it went 112. I think they have moved these weights around, and without me having to deal with it every day and looking at a weight, I'm not real sure what's been added and what hasn't.
I want to say we go straight from 175 to what Cook wrestled at, which is 190.
Yeah.
I think he wrestled at maybe an 82 or so, maybe last year.
Yeah, there was a 182 class or the 185 or whatever it is, Used to go from 182 to 215.
Reidenbach has the 5-1 advantage here for Pittsfield. Period number 2.
Power half in.
Usually for those weight classes, they kind of look and see where the majority of wrestlers are at, or what do you think? Is there science behind those changes? Or is it just they had to have a meeting and needed to make a change?
Well, and that's it too, because it seems like the IHSA wants to do that a lot in every sport, But, it kind of depends on you're looking at, these upper weights, are kids struggling to make this weight, or are they giving up too much weight because there's too much in between 2 weights, and I don't know, maybe there is a science. I don't know what it is, but to me, they got to have a meeting. They got to have a reason for it, so here we go.
Keep everybody on their toes. Don't want you to get too used to anything as a coach, of course. As 13 seconds left here in the period. Reidenbach with the 7-1 lead over the wrestler from Hillsboro. Looks like it could be our final exhibition bout here. We'll head to the 3rd period. And when these guys got here today, talk about what they're doing early on once they arrive actually at the location of the duel.
Well, normally somebody's practicing in this gym, and then, once they get out, once they get done, it's time to roll out mats. And then, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it does take some time. You got to have everybody in it. Everybody should pitch in. I know they were running all the way up to when they needed to weigh in to get these mats rolled out, but this red one we're watching here is a pretty big mat. You got 6, 7 sections to it. I mean, got to tape every scene. So
we're talking with John Frieden, who is an administrator now for Pittsfield, was involved in the wrestling program for a long time here. And we were talking about just how much different mats are even from that mid-90s era to now.
Those mats that are, I believe they're still in the annex from, when we wrestled are hard. They're not soft like these Dahmer mats that they got now. I mean, and you had to roll them up with a tube, and they were heavy, trying to move those every day. Put them on carts to move them in and out of the gym. Now you can just, one person can pick each one of these sections up and move them. So, yeah, it definitely has changed. They've gotten softer, that's for sure.
Helps with the overall safety of the participants.
Yes.
Mark working here, trying to get the man turned over. Has wrestled pretty well.
Yeah, he has.
Stall warning on the wrestler from Hillsboro. And it kind of varies from official to official, but they all want to see that you're making an attempt to wrestle.
Yeah, this one, he's been doing a long time. He wants you to work. I mean, he wants you to constantly be moving and trying something. He'll hit you pretty quick with it.
15 seconds. Looks like Riddenbach going to get the victory here. And again, just good experience in these exhibition bouts. You know, you get a Caden Riddenbach that he and Marable just a year apart. You know, you never know how they're going to grow and develop as the weight will change throughout the years. But again, you don't want guys to just sit around and don't get any experience.
No, that's the worst thing about this sport. You know, you want to be able to have mat time, and that's key. No matter whether you get it at the varsity level or the JV, mat time's mat time.
All right, so that's the Pittsfield and Hillsboro matchup. We'll get set for Hillsboro and Carlinville after this.
Since 1921, Farmers State Bank of Camp Point has been a vital part of our community's history. We are proud of our growth, our community leadership, and our success, which is only possible because of all those who shared this journey with us. We are grateful to the generations of loyal customers, families, businesses, employees, officers, and directors who have shaped not only our story, but our entire communities. Thank you. We look forward to serving you and your future generations for the next 100 years. Farmers State Bank and Camp Point. Together, we are a strong, united community.
For nearly 40 years, the Niebuhr Funeral Home has been serving our area with professionalism and compassion. This is our business, our hometown. You can be assured we take great personal pride in serving your family in your time of loss. We're locally owned. We're your friends and neighbors. We care about you and your family. Niebuhr Funeral Home, with locations in Pittsfield and Barry, serving our community with compassion and respect.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Derek Harris is your Pike and Adams County area Edward Jones financial advisor. Derek Harris's most important goals are yours. That's why Derek will take the time to understand your needs so he can recommend personalized strategies with your goals in mind. Contact Derek Harris today at 217-222-7173. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Member SIPC. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You've heard that phrase many times, and Rod Prentice in Pittsfield, your State Farm agent, is the guy you can count on to be your friend and neighbor in the insurance business. He has a complete line of insurance available for you from State Farm Insurance. You can reach him at 217-285-6930. Our family trusts Rod Prentice with all of our insurance needs. Stop by their office on Washington Street and see the girls. And Rod Prentice, your State Farm agent, 217-285-6930.
I'm Chris Nichols with PCRE Real Estate and Auction here in Pittsfield. For 15 years now, I've been specializing in selling farmland and hunting properties, along with homes and commercial real estate. Whether it's helping a seller get a premium price out of their home or assisting a buyer to find the farm of their dreams, I pride myself on providing elite customer service. Give me a call today at 217-473-3777 if I can help with any of your real estate needs. Or feel free to jump on our website at pcrerealestate.com.
In between matchups here, Carlinville and Hillsboro matching up next at Pittsfield. We'll have 4 actual bouts here and then 2 exhibition matchups between these two teams, and then Pittsfield and Carlinville will go head-to-head, giving Carlinville a little bit of a chance to get warmed back up here. We will have wrestling action for you next on Central Illinois Sports.
From bag to field to bin, Prairieland FS is your home for quality seed. We treat it right here at one of our local facilities, deliver it right to your farm, and then provide the propane to fuel your bins. Have confidence in what you're putting in your engine with our energy specialist. They're focused on maximizing power, fuel efficiency, and engine protection to keep you going. We're neighbors serving neighbors. Prairieland FS, your leading supplier of choice.
At Farmers State Bank, we believe in community, teamwork, and success. We're thrilled to announce that we've been named the best place to work in Illinois and the best community bank in America this year. Join us on this winning team where your dreams take center court at Farmers State Bank. We're a team. Discover the difference. The best place to bank, the best place to work. Because when our community wins, we all win. Where community, excellence, and opportunity come together. Farmers State Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At Full Throttle Parts, we do spray-on bed liners, a brand called Patriot Liner. It is very elite. It actually enhances the resale value of anything you put it on or off-road.
Go Full Throttle!
Go Full Throttle.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
It's time to be thinking about tax planning. You can count on Illinois FBFM for accounting, consulting, and tax preparation for farmers and businesses in Pike, Brown, and Adams counties. Call 217-593-7233. That's 593-7233. Illinois FBFM can take care of your farm accounting needs. Get your accounts in order for this tax season. Contact Jesse Schumann and Emily Matthews at Illinois FBFM in Camp Point, working for you.
Press Yours On You would like to wish all the area teams the best of luck this year. If you're looking to get your team shirts or just looking for spirit wear for yourself, remember Press Yours On You. We have over 1,400 square foot of retail space in our shop. Stop by and see us and check out our offerings. Business lets us help you promote your brand. Decoration methods we offer include screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Thank you to everyone in our community for the support over the last 16 years. Thank you for supporting local. Press Yours On You, 506 West Wood, Camp Point, Illinois. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville with locations in Griggsville, Mount Sterling, and Pittsfield. Maybe you ask, why choose Farmers National Bank of Griggsville? The answer is simple. Local people, local decisions, and local commitment with local investments. We have many products and services to meet your needs. We invite you to find out more about us. Go to fmbgriggsville.com and explore all the services we offer. Visit any of our 3 friendly locations in Mount Sterling, Griggsville, and Pittsfield today. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, local people helping local people, member FDIC. Camp Point Central Sports are proud to have Dear Wester Grain as a sponsor of this broadcast. Dear Wester Grain, there for you for all your grain and feed needs. Why don't you give them a call and check out all the locations of Dear Wester Grain? With locations in Golden, Paloma, Mount Sterling, Clayton, La Prairie, Liberty, Industry, Carthage, and Blandonsville. For more information, call Dear Wester Grain Services 696-4461. That's 696-4461, or on the web at dearwestergrain.com. Damon Plumbing, serving all of Pike County and the surrounding area with quality residential and commercial plumbing services. Damon Plumbing offers septic installation, drain cleaning, new water lines, remodel work for your home, or if you're planning a new build, make sure you include the Damon boys. To get it right the first time, no job too big. Have you seen Braden and Doug? Or too small? Sorry, Corby, couldn't resist. Call Braden at 217-491-5415 or Doug at 217-617-2318. Damon Plumbing, recommended by our family for your family. Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs.
Welcome back here at Voschel Gymnasium. It'll be Hillsboro and Carlinville matching up now, and we'll see forfeits to start out at 175, 190, and a double forfeit at 215, but we will see a heavyweight match between Mason Curry and Blake Pruitt. Forfeit at the 106 as Nicole Stanley will get the win for Carlinville. Hillsboro will take forfeits at the 113 and 120 with Bandy and Cool. See a matchup at 26. Forfeit at 32 by Hillsboro as we do have a wrestler from Carlinville for that bout. LaPlante will be the man there. But here it is the two 885-pounders. It's Mason Curry of Hillsboro in the black and orange singlet, and Carlinville's Blake Pruitt in the blue, and they'll get them on the right side. Correct side. Heavyweight at 285. And you'll see, again, guys of all shapes and sizes of this weight class.
You don't see very many big guys shooting. They're more of a throw you and land on top of you.
Well, you know, what's interesting is we watched Pruitt warming up. He's doing cartwheels out there. I don't know about you. I don't do cartwheels, Joe.
No, I don't either. But, you know, maybe that's what keeps him limber.
Still no advantage here. And now they'll see Pruitt, those two, for Carlinville. Now we'll let his opponent up here. Again, some guys just feel more comfortable wrestling on their feet.
Yes.
I think they have the advantage there.
Ooh, little ankle pick roll through. You might have saw that move on TikTok. I'm gonna guess that nobody really teaches that one.
There probably are some things you can learn in some of those places.
Oh, I'm sure.
Might not always be the best things. Another 2 points for the Carlinville wrestler here in Pruitt. Looks like he's got a pretty good control of that.
Yeah, he's got that chicken wing in.
Yeah, left arm.
Just gonna try to work him over. Got on the other side.
You know, I don't know the ages of these men here, but Mason Curry of Hillsboro looks to be the younger wrestler here.
Yes, he does. He looks to be freshman, sophomore.
That can be tough when you're still a young guy that hasn't necessarily matured physically all that much. They'll get the 1 point on the escape.
Oh, yeah.
But that can be tough. If you're like Fisher McEwen for Pittsfield's a good example. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but man, he's still got a lot of, you know, what you would refer to as baby fat on him, right? I mean, as he physically matures, I mean, he's a kid who could really develop.
And he's a really, really good wrestler. I mean, he's sound, he's calm, but yeah, I'm with you. I mean, last year, I mean, same way, you know, as an 8th grader coming up as a freshman, but yeah, when he starts maturing a little bit, he's gonna be a tough one.
Pruitt will start down here for Carlinville. He leads 7-2.
Little Granby roll.
And we'll get the reversal. And he'll also get another 2 for the back points there to make it 11-2. You said you had some familiarity with the gentleman coaching Hillsboro?
Yeah, Hillsboro's coach. I got a message from my uncle who's saying that's the one I used to wrestle when I was in high school. So kind of full circle here, you know. I mean, seems like, you know, you get in that high school level, and he was pretty good, you know, but then you end up coaching. A lot of experience there.
Carlinville's Pruitt has the 11-3 lead. And now we'll get a points there. Chop the leg, and now he's gonna work on the pin. Looks like he's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it there. And just holds him, puts both hands on his chest and holds him to the ground or over the mat. There you go. So Pruitt with the win via the pin. We'll see forfeit here as Nicole Stanley will take the forfeit for Carlinville at 106. We'll see forfeits in Hillsboro's favor at 113 for Landon Bandy. That's one of those things you're talking about. Bandy walked down, that the headgear wasn't necessarily strapped on all the way, and that's a requirement. You're going to walk up there even to take the forfeit.
You got to be straps up, headgear on, buckled up. If not, it's a team point. They'll take a team point away from you.
Cool will take the forfeit at 120, and now we'll see at 126. Fontaine Gifford for Hillsboro and Daniel Eichen for Carlinville. Again, 126 weight class here. Gifford trying to get the 2 points and does for the Cavaliers wrestling. Carlinville's another one of those places that had good programs over the years.
Yeah,
I mean, a little lower in numbers at this point.
Yeah, they've always competed. I mean, this duel used to be the first one of the year that we used to wrestle. You know, back in my old day, but you know, we used to go down to either Hillsboro, Carlinville, or here and rotate, and that would be our first duel to wrestle. Never liked being in that Hillsboro gym. It seemed to be always like cold.
See a lot of different places though with this sport.
Oh yeah,
because there's some travel involved.
Yes, you spend a lot of time in these gyms all day on a Saturday. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, there's really nowhere around us, you know. I mean, you're going to have to travel if you want to find the competition.
To get a bit of an advantage in the Pittsfield area, that your proximity to Quincy does help you quite a bit, because both they and Q&D host a couple of events a year.
Yeah, they usually have their, you know, both of them have a tournament. And that Quincy High tournament's usually pretty good.
You want to talk about a program that's got a complete, their varsity program's really impressive.
Well, and then, you know, look at their football program, you know. I mean, we were fortunate enough to be able to officiate one of their football games this year, and it's that 7A football is real football, you know, and it kind of goes hand in hand, that wrestling and football. So it makes sense, you know. Some people might be surprised, you know, I'm not. So, I mean, each of them fell for each other.
Gifford got the takedown and then gave up a 1 point for the illegal move there, so we're tied at 3. 7 seconds in period number 1. A good matchup here. Gifford of Hillsboro and Eichen of Carlinville. Carlinville's young man in the blue and red singlet. And the buzzer sounds for the end of the period. At the 126-pound weight class. This will be the only matchup for these two tonight, as a forfeit for both of them against Pittsfield at 126. As Pittsfield has filled that weight class this season, but I believe you have an injury that is not allowing Palmer. No, Palmer's too heavy. They have wrestled. I feel like they have filled that weight class.
Yeah, I feel like they have too, and maybe they had a kid. You know, I don't know. Maybe you bumped up a weight class. Sometimes it's hard telling. This season is long and grueling, and you know you got to stay healthy for all of it. Sometimes it's hard.
Eichen now with another 2 points on the takedown here. Now trying to work on the mat. Trying to get to his feet is Gifford, and right back down to the mat he goes as Eichen still pretty good control over his opponent.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been called for stalling yet here, too. He hasn't really done much on bottom. Guy on top's trying to work this half, but, you know, you got to at least do something, show the official you're trying to work.
It's one of those things where, you know, guys, when they get on bottom, don't have a lot of options, but they're just trying to maybe conserve a little bit of energy as much as they can there.
Yeah. Yeah, that 2 minute period it's grueling when you're on bottom the entire time. I mean, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes to even catch your breath. You know, this guy on top's working, and you're not giving this. Oh, there you got the reversal. Kind of fell into that one, but you know, you keep wrestling, that stuff will happen.
5-5 now, and a good matchup here between Hillsboro's Gifford and Carlinville's Eichen, and it looks like this one will be decided in period number 3.
Yes.
And it'll be Carlinville's Eichen with the choice here, and chooses to start down. Trying to see if he can't steal that early point.
Yes. Ooh, that had locked hands there. Trying to run that butcher.
.137 in the third period. Good to see Curtis Bogotsky here tonight. And John Peterson. All the coaches in the program here this evening.
Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of old wrestlers here too. You know, I mean, I talked earlier about those banners hanging up here, and I see some guys from that era that are here, and you know, maybe their kids are wrestling too, and that's great.
Program that started in the mid '80s here at Pittsfield, so you're starting to see some of those second generation wrestlers.
Yeah, you know, a lot of kids I wrestled with, their kids are wrestling. You know, it's nice to see that tradition continue.
Carlinville's young man, and Eichen is, right now just trying to stay in bounds enough to make sure he's going to get some points here, though.
They recently changed that rule. As long as you got a foot in, they can be out of bounds, and you can still get pinned. You can get your points. Got to keep those feet in, though.
And now we'll see him out of bounds. And 3 points for Eichen and a single point for Gifford. And makes it, what do we got now, 10-5 is what we're calling that?
Yeah.
And it appears that Eichen, let's see, as he looks to still be in control here, going to get another 2 points. He's going to win this. 7-point advantage, though. Look at the number of forfeits back and forth. This could be a pretty close.
This could be,
duel.
yeah. I mean, it's going to determine these ones they actually wrestle. You know, I mean,
a little trouble with the timer matching up with the time running out the buzzer. It's kind of gotten off sync somehow. I'm not sure what it is, but Eichen with the 12-5 victory for Carlinville. That was a 126. And we'll see a forfeit here now at 132 as Ronald LaPlante will get the points for his squad. Is he offering us a chance to talk to Derek Otker, the one and only? Wow.
No, I think he said he's going to take 5-10 minutes. He wants to come up here. I guess he wants to be interviewed by me or something. I don't know.
138, it'll be Gavin Valentine of Hillsboro and Ridge Regan of Carlinville. Again, this is 138. Just 4 contested Matchup's got to clear the score on the board here in the gym. No points yet here.
There it goes.
Got to have good volunteers to help with things like that, too, when you're trying to host one of these events.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because keeping that score can be important. If you don't know what you're doing, you can...
You can really get it mixed up.
You get a lot of people excited in a hurry. Now it's the wrestler from Carlinville, and Regan will get the 2 points. And this is 138. We'll also have 165. That very well could. Now this one goes to side this duel.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see.
Potentially dangerous.
And that's why you have officials that have to know what they're doing, because you have to be able to recognize that potentially dangerous move before it becomes the dangerous move that just happened.
Absolutely, yeah. This one's probably one of the best. I mean, I know he's done some state finals matches, so he does a lot of them. I think he's probably busy every day of the week.
You see that in officiating in about every sport. If you're an official and you're any good at it, you could work about as many days as you want to, and as many locations that you can get to in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, we need more people to step up and do it. That's in all sports.
Talk to basketball officials that work a tournament game and then go work a regular season game the same night. It's like, ooh, that doesn't seem as a long-term sustainable thing. Football officials work a Friday night and then a Saturday afternoon all the time.
I know there was times this year that our crew did that. You know, there was teams calling on a Thursday night wanting to do a varsity game, you know. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and then you're busy Mondays and Thursdays with the JV stuff, so.
2-0 advantage for Carlinville's Reagan here, Ridge Reagan. And they choose to start neutral here and period number 2. Nobody really has managed.
Any control here. If he reaches around that waist, yep, there he goes. He got that too.
Of course, Valentine got the win in his earlier matchup with the Pittsfield wrestler in Harrison. He won that 14-6, and so he just tied this match at 2 points apiece. Gavin Valentine for Hillsboro in the black singlet.
Running what we call bulldog move.
Yeah, he's going to get the pin.
Yep.
So that changed in a hurry there, as Reagan seemed like he had control in the second period. Valentine got that takedown and the pin. So he gets the 6 points for his team. And all points big when you only have 4 contested weight classes.
Yeah.
As we'll see a forfeit here as Austin Homer of Carlinville will take the forfeit at 144. We'll see then a double forfeit at 150 and 157. And so we'll see Weston Fenton of Hillsboro and Ryder Powers of Carlinville matching up here.
It looks like we're going to have 2 exhibition matches there at the end at 126 and 175.
So 65 again, it's Fenton of Hillsboro and Powers of Carlinville. Pittsfield and Carlinville yet to wrestle, and they will do so after this duel finishes up. Several contested weight classes there. A little harder near the middle team in Carlinville. You don't get quite as much of a rest as the others. Now both men are out of bounds, and they'll center them in the mat. Seems like especially with your lesser experienced guys, you get to those edges in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody wants to wrestle to the edge. You know, hopefully they get out of bounds if something, they get into something they don't want to be in. But, you know, like I said earlier, that new rule change, as long as you got one toe in, they're still going to keep you wrestling unless you're on that gym floor like he's about to get there. But he'll let them keep wrestling until there. See, he touched that gym floor, so we'll stop it. Got to watch it, too, because you start crawling out of bounds like that, they'll hit you for stalling.
Minute left here in the first period. Try to center on the mat here. Now there's the 2 points for Fenton of Hillsboro.
Good duck under.
Fenton was, how does it go out of bounds? Fenton was pinned earlier by Pittsfield's Waylon White, so he's trying to finish tonight 1-1. Stall warning on Carlinville's Powers now.
Yeah. Running out of bounds. You got to kind of stop yourself at that circle.
And sometimes that's intentional. Sometimes you just have the momentum flying that way, and you can't get stopped in time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to the edge. You're trying to get away, and sometimes you're, you know, especially if he lets go of you, that momentum will take you over.
That's going to get at least back points here near a pin, and that's the end. Ooh. I mean, just at the end of the period there, so it gets the 3 for the near fall. That was close.
Half more second would have been pinned.
It's like Hillsboro. Carlinville actually had the choice. They deferred, and Hillsboro's Fenton will choose to have both young men start in the upright position here. 5-0 the lead for the Hillsboro Wrestling. In Fenton, Weston Fenton at 165. Referee's about to tell them both to see a little more action. There we go. Yep. And in the defense of the official, there has not been a lot of action here in the second period.
No, there hasn't.
A minute in.
Kind of just dancing around with each other.
Maybe a little bit of a fatigue factor.
Yeah.
The way the weather's been, not as much in the last week or so, but man, you got that weather stretch where you might have not been in a wrestling room for a bit.
No.
And now it looks like Fenton.
Got a slight exception.
Get 2 points there. Get at least some more back points. Give him another 2.
Yep.
Nine the lead for Hillsboro's Fenton.
2 more now.
And gets the pin right at the end of the period.
Yep.
So pin for Fenton, and that will do it. Hillsboro, of the 4 contested matches, had pins in 3 of them. Curry at 285, Valentine at 138, and Fenton at 165. Eichen had the decision for Carlinville at 126 in the contested matchups here. Now we'll see a forfeit at 175. And Olin Lentz, and then Ian Anderson will take the forfeit at 190, I believe, if they can have him. He's got to get ready. He's not necessarily prepared.
Nope.
Doesn't appear to take
like
this.
They're going to double forfeit that.
And then we'll see an exhibition at 126. Abraham Putnam of Hillsboro, and we'll see Eichen actually wrestle again, it appears. That's not Eichen, though. That is a different wrestler.
Yeah.
So I'm unsure of who we're seeing for Carlinville here, but that's not Daniel Eichen, who we saw wrestle earlier at 126.
No.
Pretty rare to see that happen.
Yeah. Usually if they do that and they try to wrestle that match first and then get him at the end, you got to have that 30 minutes in between matches for your rest time.
So we know this is Putnam for sure for Hillsboro, and unsure on the wrestler from Carlinville, who has the early 2-0 advantage. So a contested weight class at 126 at Carlinville.
Reversal. Nope, still in control.
Get 2 more points there for the wrestler from Carlinville. Of this exhibition, and then one at 175 after this. And then a little break in between, then Pittsfield and Carlinville will wrestle. You talk about they mix up where you start in the weight classes, so you get that break in between.
Yeah. Normally, these varsity duels, the official's got a bag with all the weights in it. You reach in, grab one, that's where you start. But, depending on with these exhibitions, if you want to get a kid another match, they'll likely start them with that one and then end with that one. That way they make sure they have that break in between, their matches. Used to be 45 minutes, but the IHSA and the IESA bumped that down to 30 minutes. Thought maybe sometimes these duels didn't even go 45 minutes, so they had to bump that down.
Now it looks like we'll get both men out of bounds, so they'll recenter here. And the wrestler in Putnam will start down. 17.7 seconds left in the first. What do you think overall popularity-wise in this region? What is the state of wrestling?
This area, I wouldn't say it's hugely popular, but for where we're at, like you said, with Quincy and Camp Point around the area, it's definitely something that a lot of people are willing to do. You look at these little kids out here, and there's a lot of them. Seems like they've been wrestling nonstop for 2.5 hours. But
they just keep rolling them out on the southern half for sure.
But yeah, with an area like this, we're not near a huge city, so you don't pull a lot of those schools that have the numbers and the teams that you do down here in this area.
Get 2 points on the reversal for the Carlinville wrestler here. Again, both right near the edge of the mat. But not out of bounds until now.
Yep.
Now they'll put them back in the middle. And Putnam again will be the man down here for Hillsboro, trailing 6-0.
Seems like Putnam's struggling to put this kid on his back. But, with these exhibition matches, that's kind of what you get some inexperienced kids, but it's good for them to be out there working, learning. Mat time's the biggest thing to learn. You can go to practice every day and do all the moves and do the drills, but until you actually got to do it on them against somebody else, it's not sure what to do.
We got enough there. No signal yet on any back points. Now he's going to get at least a couple. Looks like it's near. Can't get both of the shoulders down, it doesn't appear.
No.
23 seconds is Putnam able to fight out of that and get rolled back over. Should see a signal for some points, I would believe, for the Carlinville wrestler. I would guess, what do you think, 3 here?
Yeah.
For those?
Yeah, it looks like he's got his fingers down for 3. I'll give it. Yeah.
That's why I was guessing 3, actually. Seemed like the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And we'll head to the 3rd now. And Putnam will start top here. See if he can try to work, see if he can get a pin. But nice job with the Carlinville wrestler, too. He's at least to his feet, not fully separated yet. No points there, as Putnam did start on top. And now we'll get points for Carlinville's wrestler on the reversal. Makes it 11-0 in this exhibition bout at 126. Now they're going to say close enough to both men being out of bounds. Want to put them back in the middle. 1:20 left in the 3rd period. A 126-pound weight class looks to be pretty competitive for this Carlinville team. Again, Eichen got the 12-5 win against Gifford of Hillsboro. Now their 2nd wrestler at this weight class. Very close.
Well, you got somebody in the room you can work with and get better. I mean, that's what happens. You end up being, both of your kids at that weight are pretty good.
Not able to get both shoulders down here for the pin. And there they are. Referee says, give it to him as he pounds his hand on the mat. And now we'll have an exhibition at 175. Gavin Shoemaker of Hillsboro and Ryder Powers of Carlinville, I believe, or maybe not. Looks like maybe not. Going to scratch that one out, and that will be it for Hillsboro and Carlinville. So Hillsboro wins that matchup, and we'll take a little break here. Pittsfield and Carlinville will go at it next, and we'll see. Well, it looks like several forfeits in a row before we'll see a matchup. We'll talk more about that after we come back after this break.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent! Party on, James! Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer! We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
United Community Bank has been serving our community in banking since 1973 and is a proud member of the Pittsfield Strong United community. UCB brings you the latest banking technology, security, and convenience you expect, delivered with friendly local service you deserve from your community bank. UCB invites you to stop in for a visit at number 1 Professional Plaza in Pittsfield, or you can find them online at ucbbank.com. United Community Bank, the leader of community banking, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Sign up for a Saki Rewards debit card. When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Sports families, come check out Central Valley Sports, the new facility in town. Located 3 miles south of Winchester at 520 Winchester Glasgow Road. Batting cages, pitching mounds, pitching machines, and more. Open to all ages and skill levels. The facility is available for team rental, individual membership, and family memberships. Be sure to check out the Central Valley Sports Facebook page for more information and stay up to date on individual lessons and camps offered throughout the year.
Game Masters is your headquarters for all your hunting gear. We have more than just camo hunting attire. Come check out our casual lines of Sitka, Under Armour, North Face, Columbia, Drake, and more. Pursue your prey with these off-road Quiet Cat bikes from Game Masters. Easy to transport and perfect for your next hunting adventure. Game Masters, we're passionate about the outdoors.
Hey, grab me one too.
Yeah, I'm at Farm and Home for essentials.
Did you find everything you need?
No, apparently not. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Are you looking to streamline your banking? Great Rivers Bank has just what you need with our streamlined checking and savings accounts. Earn high interest rates or get cash back on debit card purchases with your qualifying account. Plus, ATM fee refunds. Certain qualifications required. Call or visit our website today at www.greatriversbank.bank to get started. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Logan Agri-Service, we consider it a badge of honor to be recognized as one of the larger independent suppliers of crop protection chemicals in the Midwest. We've worked hard for years to provide you with the access to the best herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides from top manufacturers because we know without you, our local farmers, we wouldn't be here. When you have questions, call our local experts to discuss what works best for your fields and your situation, or visit us online at loganag.com. Serving agriculture since 1962.
Just about ready for Pittsfield and Carlinville to take the mats here. Looks like at 106 we'll have a forfeit as Nicole Stanley for Carlinville will take the forfeit there. Ruben Leonard will take the forfeit at 113 for Pittsfield. Joel Noble the forfeit at 120 for Pittsfield. Daniel Eicher at 126 for Carlinville. So even up there through 132 where we will see Jacob Hull and Ronald LaPlante. And at 138, Hunter Harrison and Ridge Reagan. 44 will be Nick Merriman and Austin Homer. McEwen will take a forfeit at 150 for Pittsfield. Otker at 57 for Pittsfield with the forfeit. We'll see a matchup between Waylon White and Ryder Powers at 165. Bodine Marable will have the forfeit at 175. Tucker Cook will take the forfeit at 190. Double forfeit at 215, and then Blake Pruitt will have the forfeit at 285. So, on paper, for Carlinville to win the duel, they're going to have to do pretty well here in the actual contested weight classes.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to pull some pins out.
Pittsfield beat Hillsboro 46-22 was the final of their opening duel today. Only home meet of the season for Pittsfield. Had two scheduled, one canceled due to the weather. This one postponed due to weather at one point and rescheduled for this evening. I'm glad they were able to make that work, which is tough this time of the year to get anything rescheduled.
Yeah, especially with the regionals being a few days away,
I think we're at the point in the IHSA calendar where everything's about as early as it can be, and the next year it goes back to being about as late as it can be. It looks like we're going to actually start with 190 here. Cook taking the forfeit for Pittsfield. It's kind of too bad. I kind of like to see Cook. Wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those guys that's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So he'll take those 6, and then we'll see double forfeit at 215, and then Pruitt will take the forfeit for Carlinville at 285. Nicole Stanley at 106 for Carlinville. Ruben Leonard for Pittsfield at 113. Noble at 120 for Pittsfield. And then Eicher of Carlinville will take it at 126. So by my bad math, I think we're actually even up right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Here comes Eicher to take the 126. And we'll see 132, Jacob Hull and Ronald LaPlante. Pittsfield's Hull in the black and red. LaPlante is in the blue and red singlet for Carlinville. Plant with the early 2-point on the takedown. Trying to get out of bounds. LaPlante just kind of yanks it back in, said not so fast, my friend.
Trying to work that tilt. He sits up on it. It's one place you don't want to be is where your knee is close to your head.
No, I don't, because I'm not that flexible.
Sometimes these kids will force you to be in that position.
LaPlante's got a pretty good
cradle
there, yeah. He will get the pin. So he'll get the 6 points for his team. And bring us to the 138-pound weight class, and Harrison for Pittsfield and Reagan for Carlinville. Carlinville with the advantage right at this moment.
Yeah, didn't need to give up that pin, but hopefully Harrison can come in and tie it up here.
Did you talk about there is some strategy in just the different way points are scored, whether it's a 3 points you give up 4 or entire 6?
Yeah, makes a difference in a duel, especially when it's close like this.
Harrison trying to get around here to get the 2 points.
Push the feet. Push the foot.
Reagan's got to hold that leg. Harrison, pretty good balance there with that one leg kind of hung on to. And now we'll get the 2 points for the Carlinville wrestler and Reagan. Now a reversal here for Harrison.
Making some back
right
points.
near the edge of the mat.
Run it. There he goes. Get that pin.
And he does.
There he goes.
So a pin for Harrison. Falling behind early. Got that reversal. Nice job by him. He goes 1-1 on the evening. And now we'll see Nick Merriman and Austin Homer at 144. I believe.
Yes.
What we've been told. But that, however, is not Nick Merriman.
No, it is not.
That is Brad Cruzan. And so he'll wrestle at 144. So he's been injured for a bit for Pittsfield. So Cruzan will wrestle here on senior night against Homer. I'd say that was probably kind of a
last minute
decision there. Yeah. Hey, do you feel good enough to try to go?
Yeah.
And good for him to get out there on his senior night. Injuries to your ribs, though, when you're trying to wrestle another human being. Not always a lot of fun because sometimes you get put in a position that you don't have much control over.
Yes. It's hard enough to breathe when you got rib injuries, let alone go out there and do this.
Suzanne trying to, and will, get the 2-point takedown. Again, strong young man who's really worked hard in the gym to better himself physically. First-year wrestler, and he's working on a pin here.
Yeah, he is. Walk towards the head, settle your hips.
So a lot of time left here in the period.
Walk towards his head. There he goes. Reset.
We're trying to pin it off Cruzan. Looks like he's got the pin and does. So he gets the pin on senior night for his team and victory for Brad Cruzan at 144. That'll move us to 150. And a forfeit for Fisher McEwen. 57, we'll see a forfeit with Jake Ocker. Kind of too bad. Didn't get to see Ocker either time tonight, and he's another young man that's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So McEwen will come out and take the forfeit. And we should see Ocker to come out and take the forfeit from what we've been told. Well, Carlinville does have a wrestler waiting there at the scorer's table, but I believe that should be the one. That's probably the 165, and it will be. So Ocker comes out, takes the forfeit, and so we'll see the 165. That'll be White and Powers. Waylon White for Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and Ryder Powers for Carlinville. White got the victory earlier for Pittsfield when he wrestled the man from Hillsboro.
This kid's a joy to watch wrestle.
He goes to work early here. Gets the 2 points. And just the overall kind of natural strength that he has is very impressive.
Yeah.
He's got that left arm secured here. Now he's going to let him up. Sometimes that strategy would be give up one to get two here.
Yeah.
That's what he's probably looking for, trying to get another takedown. And will. You don't really feel like you have much of that advantage. Now he does, though. Looky here. Looky here. He gets settled.
Lift his head.
Doesn't really have much weight on the man right now, does he? I mean, he's basically
holding his
all arms, and he good enough there. Not everyone could do that, Joe Butler.
No, they can't. Hold somebody down with their fingertips.
Waylon White with a pair of victories, a pair of pins, in fact, at 165 for Pittsfield. Now we'll see Bodie Marable take a forfeit. And then we'll see Cook come out. No, Cook already took the forfeit to start, but that might be it.
Yeah, that is it.
Pittsfield wins that one.
48-18.
48-18, yeah. Was that to be correct as well? And doesn't look like we have any exhibition matches here. And so that's going to do it.
Yeah.
So Pittsfield defeats Hillsboro 46-22, Carlinville 48-18, and a good night of wrestling for the Pittsfield Soccer program, who will participate in regionals this Saturday. And as you talked about, they've got as you saw tonight, a chance for a couple of guys to try to advance out of that tough regional matchup and Auburn. All right, that's going to do it from Boschel Gymnasium. Joe Butler, thank you for lending us your time tonight.
Thank you.
I know you had a lot of free time, just nothing to do. So
yeah.
really appreciate that. And we thank you for joining us for high school wrestling action on Central Illinois Sports.